with no further delay, let me start by asking you, I know for a fact that Metal King is something that everyone keeps talking about. It's a nice name to have, doesn't it, in terms of describing all that you've achieved over the years. Looking back, Mr. Agarwal, what do you think was the turning point in your life and career from scrap dealer to Metal King? What was that one point that you feel, looking back, changed it all?
First of all, thank you very much that putting all the YPO and EO together and to the president that to organize Sunday evening, which is a very, very personal evening to be with the family, to spare and come here. My heartfelt that all of you have come and somebody who's a so ordinary person to be here. I'm overwhelmed by this. And I think I was not knowing whether I'm going to be a big man. As things start happening, always there was a fire because you see, whole influence used to be movie. When you see a Bollywood movie, when you see Bombay City, so you want to go to Bombay City. You want to see a big car, you want to have a big car. When you see a 5-star hotel, you want to visit a 5-star hotel. But curiosity and dreaming, I think, was taking me in the Bihar, Patna, Bihar is a place which is a Patliputra called, it was the capital of the world, Chandragupta Maurya, to Ashoka the Great, to Chanakya, to Guru Gobind Sahib, to Sita Ji, to name the people who was there. But so from there, coming to only place where I can see in the double-decker bus I never seen in my life. So 1920, so got an opportunity to be there, and fire keep moving and keep things unfolding, and that was the fire in the belly. And as you go, you keep correcting and understanding where you are going.
Right. So daring to dream and making that trip to Mumbai, was that perhaps the turning point?
Yeah, definitely. Coming to Bombay was definitely a turning point. At 19 years old boy, coming into Bombay, in my life, seeing such a tall building, except in the movie. So it is something keep unfold when you see that I wanted to see in my life Devanand. I wanted to see in my life Feroz Khan. That was my dream, and you will not believe. I had to have a short answer, but I'm so excited about. So 30 days I must have gone to Sun and Sun Hotel every day because somebody told me, Devanand, come here and he has a suite upstairs.
We've all been there.
Somewhere I can see him. So those background, those background when you have so much of determination, curiosity, I have to do it. I have to make it. I have to go to Taj Hotel and have a cup of tea. And I have to go to the Oberoi. I have to go to this. I have to do this. And checklists keep on happening. And that's how you keep progressing.
That's so relatable because I'm sure each and every one of us in this audience has probably dared to dream at some point in time. And here you are talking about the power of dreaming itself. So, I can't help but ask you, when you started out, even as you began dreaming, or perhaps even before you even dared to dream, did you ever imagine that you'd have as illustrious a life and career in business, in the industry, as you have today? Did you manifest it? Did you always know it, even before you dared to dream, made that move to Bombay? Did you always know?
This is just the beginning.
Okay. There's a lot more
ahead. This is just the beginning. It is as you go, as you unfold, think, as long as you are not attached, you are excited about something, you keep thinking, you have nothing in the... See, all of you have one thing because you have background. You have a background because you have your school, college, your students, your fellow friends, your mother, father, your grandfather. I had nothing. So I have nothing to lose. If somebody put me in a jail, after 6 days I come out, nobody knows. But people who are at that level, for them, I feel I was very fortunate that I could do what I wanted to do.
Right.
These people take time because they have the background. For them to cross that line is difficult.
I mean, that's a very interesting takeaway. It's really when you have nothing to lose, perhaps, that you can place your best bet. And, dreaming also takes a lot of daringness, you'd say, in terms of getting this done. So given the fact you've spoken so much about dreaming and everyone's, all interested in how much of dreaming is great, I have to ask you, before we get ahead, 3 tips to the business acumen in this audience. 3 tips from Anil Agarwal on how to make it big. What would they be?
I don't know, but the passion is somebody asked that the passion of fun or lot of prestige or money, which one you like? And everybody says, I want money, I want a big name, big prestige. And I says, I love passion. A passion is very, very important. If I achieve my passion, my money and my ijjat will follow me. So that's how I look at. Please explain him convert ijjat into the English. Respect.
I think so, yes. But even through this journey that you've crafted for yourself, and even as you've dreamt, you built this business empire for yourself, you expanded into multiple countries. I think the one constant that you've always had to deal with, Mr. Agarwal, through your career, is dealing with different stakeholders, from governments to NGOs to regulatory agencies, all of whom have featured prominently the kind of decision-making you've had to take in your career and as you've done business around the world and expanded this empire that you've built for yourself. How have you contended with the challenges that come with dealing with these different stakeholders, each of whom have different priorities, different interests, while you here are trying to run a business? There may have been challenges, I know for a fact that most certainly have been. What's the formula to dealing with them?
No, but see, the cosmos has put you in a particular circumstances. In that circumstances, you have to do your best. We have a very good example. Is the state of mind where you think that this is a trouble, this is not a trouble. Trust me, whenever my one business has gone bad, the 5 opportunity has come. And I never look back, and I'm concerned about it, but I'm moving. I'm moving, and you have to, one thing for sure, as long as your governance are right, one thing today's time, please do not indulge into the governance. Never ever. If you do the governance issue, manipulation, everything has a solution. Whatever you want is possible to do it. The tax planning, working everything. But if you do a manipulation, then what happens? Make you weak. And all the time you're saying, oh, things are with my staff, things with my manager, he should not do anything. So once you don't have those, in principle, if I'm a vegetarian, I'm a vegetarian. No matter how much you give me $1 million, I'm not going to eat. So once you have that governance in mind and find a solution, you will be strong like a rock. Then you are sleeping and you are fighting, and this is. So we deal with the circumstances. Everybody go through. If you are a son of a king, you get things on the platter, but he has to also to fight. But I'm with you completely that I look back to. I must have shut down a couple of businesses. I started so many businesses. I've gone anywhere. I don't understand English. I didn't speak English. But anywhere, anything I've gone, raised $35 billion.
I'm really glad you brought up the whole aspect of succeeding while, a few bets of yours did not quite see the light of day. In fact, you started 9 businesses. You failed. And you started your next one, the 10th one. And from there on, things began looking up. So I'm sure one question that most of the members in our audience would be keen to understand from you, what is it that gave you the strength and drive to continue? despite initial failures. And what advice do you think you'd give people listening to you today in terms of persisting even in the face of failure?
You know, India is a land of opportunity, is another America. And because land of opportunity, land of entrepreneur, we have a plus point, we have a sanskar, which they don't have. With this, you can imagine where India will go. We will be very different level. We will have today 60% of wealth is with the individual hand. All the techie people in America, they have a $40 billion, $30 billion, $20 billion, all this crowd, they can do it. The government mind has to be, all of has to change. Money making is not a sin. Money making is not a sin. Nobody take away the money. It is a human nature. When you make money, you want to give. That's what it is. And this crowd, they have to align with the government and say, look, we have, and our team, they have to be our partner. You know, we are like engine and our team, our CFO, our CEO, our people whom we deal with. You have to take girls always because they are the one who really bring different perspective. And we somehow have a habit of just making them away. So these things also very, very important. We align, we make a team. And what we have to see, not many years, our company become a developed country. We are first 3 country in the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. But just coming back, what was it exactly that got you to champion on even in the face of failure? What did you tell yourself when you suffered those initial failures, but you knew you had to go on? What was the one motivating factor?
One is that the whole team look at you. And at that time, your face is very important. The whole team is looking at you. And you say, what happened? Kuch nahi. Come on, let's talk. So that itself changed. Because the moment you also scared, you also, so that helped your courage. Your courage to think positive, to think what is next. You never cry before anybody. Close your room, shut your room and cry, break your head like anything. When you come out, you're smiling. We have to, these things in our life. People say the next life I'll do this. What is bloody next life? This is the moment and this is the life.
You have one life, make it large.
This moment.
But Mr. Agarwal, I have to ask you, you talk so much about dreaming and dreaming big as one of the chief ingredients of encountering success. But surely you will agree with me that dreaming big often comes with an element of big risk as well. Is there one critical point where you say, okay, there's too much risk involved, and maybe I draw a line here? How do you make that calculation? How do you go about that?
You don't do things foolishly. You don't do you understand what you're doing. I'm always looking at the technology, and I'm not going to go and follow, and I find that the semiconductor is a fantastic business. And I persuaded last 5 years government, unless you give a big incentive, nobody is going to come. And I've made sure that they be persuaded that $10 billion for the semiconductor, $10 billion is still like in America, they're given 90% incentive. Because semiconductor is tomorrow's oil. Without this world will not run. And I started dreaming. I'm going to be the semiconductor. So I got all these people, put them together, 5 years, work. Because this will change my country. Mm-hmm. This is my change my country. And things come. So this is how you dream. Like I see, I've gone, is on the record. I always wanted to be the glass business because it's a for cell phone, for TV, for laptop, for everything is a glass. Glass is very important, and 100% we import. There's only 3 companies make in the world. So when the Japanese company was there, it was not doing well because Corning and other company was pushing them to shut down. So they take away their business. So I gone in the delegation with our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, and I was going every year, 8 years. Every year, I wanted to go to Japan just to have a break, but that was, so I used to go and talk to them, and they will say, Japanese company, we never sell. Then I said that we are doing so much for Japan, they must do it for us. If this company is doing not bad, going to be shut down, can we buy? So we bought that company. We bought that company that gave me leeway to become in the glass business, in semiconductor business, in optical fiber business. So this is how the entrepreneur think.
Okay.
This is how the entrepreneur think.
But at no point, Mr. Agarwal, did you stop and think, wait, am I taking too much of a risk? Did that thought never cross your mind?
See, unless you think big, is your people, your team, not for greed, not hurting anybody. But unless you think big and small, when you see such a big universe, when Lord Krishna, Arjuna asked him, show me your Vishal Roop or whatever you call it. So he shows that they like this earth, there are thousands of other earth, and how big it is. It is in our mind that we think is a big and small. Whatever you think, how you think is a very important. For somebody to have a pawn shop, a small grocery shop, he's like a king. And I've seen a big industrialist, he's like a pauper. All that is like a state of mind to remain happy, remain progressive is always happiness. Being a progressive, that's what I believe. Some people believe eating and having a 2-hour siesta, working for 1 hour, then having a siesta, watching a movie. That also may be good. सबके अपने अपने राम होते हैं. सबके अपने अपने धर्म होते हैं. Every individual has his own religion. It's not one religion, can be one religion, but so this is how I think. Somebody else can think differently.
I know dreams differ, and I think dreaming big is something that you hold close to your heart, no doubt. But moving on, I have to ask you, back in the real world where we actually deal with vagaries of business, I think you mentioned almost a year ago in May 2022 that we are most certainly staring at a commodity supercycle. What is your stance on this statement today? Do you still feel that we are in the midst of the supercycle, and what is your view on commodities overall?
We were the king of commodity 300 years back. 30% of GDP of the world, where the GDP comes from, is come from this commodity. So we were Sone ki chidiya. Because the 30% of GDP, we used to produce the gold, we used to produce diamond, Kohinoor has come from here, we used to produce oil, anything, oil and gas is more recent, but anything you talk about, silver. So, and what happened? Slowly, the Mughal came, British completely taken away. And then because of democracy, the NGO has jumped in. The Greenpeace or all these people started coming in and to making sure India don't produce. India became a market. India today, if you see the India balance sheet, if we have $100, $50 goes into import of commodities. Oil and gas, gold, copper, silver, fertilizer, everything our Mother Earth has. And we have to, I'm a geologist, I can see it is lying there, and we hard-earned money, 50% of our money we spend. One is of course the super cycle, but we have to produce this, and Tamil Nadu has a great opportunity. We have to produce this for our survival cycle. There is no new mines are coming. Because of everything I see, ownership, textile, housing, they are the owner. But in the mining, there is no owner-driven company in the world. Because they were all their owner, but so much of pressure has come. So they all run away, they made it multinational. It's not a question of lithium. It's a question of exploration policy. It's a rare earth. Rare earth, Chinese going to blackmail us. That we Indians have to move forward to be self-sufficient. And it is a country of entrepreneur. Just open it up for our youngster engineers. They buy 2-3 crore rupees drilling machine, go to the Geological Survey of India, drill it. Out of 10, maybe 5 they will fail, 6 they will fail. 2 discovery comes, they sell at the $5 million, $50 million. What's harm? If a person makes $50 million, oh, he made so much money. What is this nonsense?
Absolutely. In fact, so do you think that something along the lines of India's startup boom could in fact be encouraged in the exploratory space as well? Do you think there's potential for it?
Very important, very important. We have a water in the well. Just take it out.
Right.
In
Absolutely.
a most sustainable manner.
In fact, it reminds me, as far as the US is concerned, the shale boom in the US that we witnessed was, most experts pointed out that it was owing to advancements in drilling technology. Do you think India is in a space where we could exemplify and make the most of technology to go about doing what you think and what you believe we can achieve? What do you think is the technological intervention to get there? How much of a role does tech play in making this dream work?
I'll tell you something. All the technology happening in the mine on the shale, majorities are Indian. They are developing the shale gas. They are developing the shale technique. They are doing it. They are in the front runner. They are beautiful mine. They want to do the same. So this is technology. Tomorrow there will be no need for anybody to go inside the mine. It is like a old time. We used to have a heart failure and you have to have a blood bath. You have all heart comes out and then you repair it and then put it back. Now the doctors have a computer and is microscopic and repair everything and you go home. So same thing with the mine, Mother Earth. So you know exactly where to put in a hole, how to extract and put it together. So those technology is there. India is on move. Our government has understood to eradicate poverty, to put India to that level. Everything has to be technology driven. Anything you do has to be, even you do worship in the temple, has to be technology driven. Door automatic open, close, everything. So I'm saying technology is the part of our life, day-to-day life. And this is what in our business also will take a front role into technology to create, because we don't have a legacy, we'll start new and we'll be faster than anybody else.
Okay. And do you feel in the tech ecosystem that India has, as illustrious as it is, you see innovations coming out every day from our startup labs, do you think there's enough incentive and enough impetus to develop technology in the exploratory and mining space? Is that already present in the time and place that we are in?
No, India is not present, but all the innovation happening in the world, you must trust me, it's all these big companies are getting it done in India. Pune, Bangalore, they have millions of people. And, everything is being done here. The packaging is done from there. So we have, our people understand, and this will happen. You will see very short time how things will evolve and revolve.
Okay, all right. You're very positive on the India story insofar as technology is concerned. I believe we all should be, because there is, of course, a great talent pool in this country, and if that's something that we can, play up on, I'm sure we will, of course, make great progress in that area.
We are the people, when a drought is there, the old mother goes to the temple, go with the umbrella.
Okay.
That I'm going to pray, and rain is going to come. I'm carrying my umbrella.
And that is faith, I guess, right? I have to ask you, you spoke just a few minutes back about governance and how it is perhaps sacrosanct while doing a business, and it is maybe the one thing everybody should keep intact and continue to adhere to. When it comes to governance, multiple companies of yours have hired excellent external CEOs to run the business. And I'm sure many people here in the audience as well are running companies that are in the process of going more professional, looking at hiring external CEOs, and looking at the talent pool to kind of meet respective requirements. What is the one piece of advice that you'd give people in the same, in the same scheme of things, looking to hire a CEO, looking to professionalize the business a lot more? What's that one thing that you feel that you looked out for, and what's the one thing that they can look out for while going about making that CEO hire to run business better?
There are two things. One is the CEO you are hiring because you are the owner. There is the ownership and there is a management, and you hire a CEO. There are some company in India doing, but most important thing is that what you want to get it done. If you can find the person who's a proven, who has done the same thing, and you should be most attractive salesperson to attract him, no matter how much you pay him, is a zero cost. Is a zero cost. If you get that proven man, what you want to do, you have to sell yourself, you have to work with him, and that's is a zero cost. Okay. No matter how much you pay him.
But in terms of qualities that you look for while hiring the ideal CEO, and I'm sure you've sat in on many of these interviews as well, what are they? What do you think is the right quality to look for in a CEO?
I think I knew everything, but sometime I want my value to be very high. My market cap in India was $40 million. And I listed at $100 million, became a $40 million. I was very frustrated, gone to London, and then hired Sir Brian Gilbertson, even Mr. Chidambaram came on my board, illustrated board alone, does not speak English, and got these people. And the same share I delisted and listed here because of this expert. Whether you talk anybody, world-class people, passionate chairman, everybody has gone, picked them up, money given them, empower given them, put them together, and gone to the market. Got $2 billion. Okay. So sometimes you take the CEO, sometimes too I tell you, your business, you know it. No matter how much you hire the expert or CEO, your business, you know it. But sometimes to communicate that business, your credibility sometimes is not there. Take them. But if you are not confident on your business, no matter whom you hire, it's not going to work.
I think that's a point to ponder. Nobody knows your business better than yourself. So irrespective of who you hire, make sure that you're still in the driver's seat, right?
Not driving seat. Sometimes you're invisible.
Okay.
It's nice to be the power of ignorance.
Okay.
Always have a power of ignorance make you like this.
So not in the driver's seat, but still in the car.
Whatever it works.
Okay.
Whatever it works. No.
Yeah, but be there and know your business.
I've signed my best expert resign. And I said, if I come to know tomorrow morning, the whole thing will go. Straight away I went and gone stung to his wife. And this fellow saying, I said, you are my everything. You are like, Didi, what are you doing? You know. Well, she says, when she heard everything, वो आता है उसको मैं एक झापड़ मारूंगा. So, मरता हम लोग we are like this. No, we all are sitting here. We are like this.
Yeah. Mr. Agarwal, from Patna, from Patna to Mumbai to London, you live there now. What's the one thing that you'd say you miss about India when you live abroad?
5 things.
5 things, okay.
5 things. Number 1, all the girls, they will not cook with the wood. 400 rupees cylinder. Guaranteed by the government.
Okay.
Number 2, minimum free electricity, roof on the head, tap water, education. If they have any child in our house is a qualified and got a marks, no constraint for money for her or him to develop the career.
Okay.
Medical to be free.
Okay.
Medical to be free. Safety, all the police station has to be digitalized. FIR should be laws through virtue, through the software. Food security, minimum food has to be given. So this one laptop, one scooty, and one smartphone. The moment you become 15 years old, you get it at the affordable price. This thing has to happen. Then our people will start thinking. And there is no question that we will be on the first world.
Okay, all right. So it's all about making sure opportunities are present. But is there something that you miss about India, even as you live abroad?
The excitement what you get here, the Hindi gaane, masti se ja rahe hain.
There's a vibrant community. There's a vibrant Indian community, though, in London.
No, we have a big community. You know, India is India. What are you talking? Oh my God.
You're a bit of a foodie yourself, too. We were talking a little while outside.
Yeah, two things I know very well.
Uh-huh.
Foodie, eating, and keep talking.
Okay. Two qualities I'm sure that all Indians also love doing, right? So you miss everything about India when you're away, but life in London versus life in India, is there a comparison?
Yeah, because I've gone, when I've gone there, I stayed in Hounslow, but even then I started thinking of big, then I said, I must have a Rolls Royce, I couldn't afford, so I hired for 6-7 hours, working hours, and I must have an English driver,
With the cap on, full chauffeur.
Wherever I'm going, then you will not believe I'll stay for 5 days, 4 days in London Hilton, and then 3 days, 2.5, 3 days, I will stay at the Pennington, bed and breakfast.
Okay.
$10. And then come back again Monday morning. No, dress and address is very important.
Okay.
I remember I was so worried about money. So this bank manager came to see me, and I said, oh, come to Hilton, London Hilton. And he came to my room, and it was at lunchtime. And he says, would you like to have something? And he says, yeah, it's lunchtime. I can have a fish and chips. And he asked me, and I said, no, I had my lunch. Then we had a talk. He sat down, and he left. And I saw the bill. It was about 17, 18 pounds. It's okay. So when he left, I found that there is a bread roll, and there is a chips, what do you call it? Finger chips, what do you call it? French fries. And then you have a tomato sauce. I said, what? This is my lunch? So in his plate, I took out this, cut it, put this French fries, put Tabasco, ketchup, and I was eating in the bell ring.
Okay.
And I said, who has come? The same guy who coming in. I said, I left my key. And I'm looking this bugger. I'm looking at him. I'm going there. And where is he? We all come from this background. Where else what can happen to us? What worse can happen to us?
That's quite the anecdote, Mr. Agarwal. Truly. I think Indianness has, its own form and shape, irrespective of where you are in the world. But I know a little while ago you told me that you're only just getting started. So, but I'm sure everyone here will agree that it has no doubt been quite a successful and illustrious career that you've had so far. Looking back, is there one thing that you feel you maybe could have done differently?
Yeah, most of the thing. Most of the thing, I know, but because you have no background, you don't know what. But there's no regret as you go. Like I was buying the largest mining company, Anglo-American. I bought at $9 share. I bought 26%, and then I leave it to my people. Ball should be always in. This is your project. Keep holding ball in your hand. I give it to my people, and they keep on, analyzing and paralyzing the whole thing. करना है open offer देके खत्म करो ना, खत्म करो उसको, उड़ाओ, मारो साले को. तो they kept it open for 1.5 years. The market moved from $9 to $25. So this sometimes I regret, when you hear too many Thai people, too many suited, booted people, They put you behind. Because this is your idea. You can make them refine, but it is a fundamentally yours. You have taken a call. You finish it. So these are some of the regret.
But I have to ask you, Mr. Agarwal, just before we end, this session at least, what do you look forward to in life in general these days? What is the one thing that you look forward to?
One is for sure, I'm burning inside to make my country eradicate poverty, create job to go in a first world. No question. My young people, my young fellow, I request them, tell them, pray them, work hard. This is your time. In our time, opportunity was not there. This is the time there is opportunity. Personally, what wrong our children has done through technology, 80 crore, 8 million children, 8 crore children, up to age of 7. I want to adopt them to make sure that we have developed the nutrition. I'm spending a lot of money to develop a nutrition bar so they never leave malnutrition. How do we give them education, take care of their health, and which is happening. So I did it for 5,000. We will do for 1.3 million Nandghar. And I'm very keen. People believe that is how big is nothing big. Upar wala saath hota hai, so everything speed comes up. So, and number two, our women. So we are working with them, 17, 18 years old. They're completely exploited, no money, 3, 4 children, and they're intelligent. How do we engage them so they get 25,000, 30,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees they get? And I will put my life and soul to make sure that's happened. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at why my children, this year in London, 260,000 Indian boys and girls has gone to study, paying massive money. You know what trick UK government has done? They don't have a job, but they're given a trick saying that you can work without permit for 2 years in UK. You can work, but where is the job? People have mortgaged their thing. They've gone 1 crore, 50 lakhs. They've put in and they've gone and we have to build world-class university with our culture. Why can't we create? Because 20% of the faculty of the world is Indian. I'm giving you another anecdote. So this girl came to me, my friend's daughter, and she came and I said, वो मेरे को ताऊजी बोलती है, ताऊजी हाँ बेटा कैसा है? So she's a young girl, so मैंने कहा, you are settled? Her father has sold everything, only dream that my daughter will never gone to abroad, study in England. Send there, so she is studying. So I said, how many, must be international students, how many students are there? He said, we are 28. So I said, 28? Internationally, what origin they are? What nationality they are? The 27s are Indian. I said, one is who? So one is English, who is the professor? Okay. No. So this is what is that people are fooling us, taking away all our, today 13% of our revenue goes into the education. Why can't we do it here? So these are my dream. I burned myself with this dream.
Yes.
And once you think, cosmos also listen. There is a connection.
It's all about manifesting it. I completely agree with you. In fact, that brings me to my last question. You were one of the few Indian billionaires to have taken the giving pledge. What prompted you to do that? All your passions notwithstanding. What prompted you to do that? And moreover, which social sector in India are you currently the most excited about?
जो दे दिया सो अपना है, जो रह गया सो सपना है. You have to explain him in English. So, but whatever you give is yours. Yeah. Whatever remain with you is illusion. Trust me. More you give, more pleasure. It's a human nature. So for me, if I can be like Nandghar, if I can create this Nandghar, 1.3 million Nandghar children. Because up to 6 years, if they have a sanskar, what is we are teaching? Go to see our Nandghar. What we are teaching them? Respect your parents. Respect your neighbor. Respect your country. You know, we also teach them remain vegetarian. Some people have an argument, but these are the value base. And I find that if he will be 30 years old, he will say, I will not do this. I'm a product of Nandigar.
Okay, all right.
That's what I dream.
Absolutely. And those principles get set in at early on.
Yeah,
right?
as we go. And you manifest and things will happen. So I'm not a government. Sometime, who knows? But government is the most powerful weapon. And if all of us can change their mind, because if you change their mind that government has no business to be in a business, our Prime Minister says beautiful things. But if the bureaucrat follow and it happen, there is no question, only economic power and the women power. Today, India is the lowest women are working, only 10%. The lowest average in the world, where only 10% women are working. This is pretty nonsense. Our women are the most intelligent. At least, please, I will not accept any banker coming to me only with the men. He has to accompany with a woman, professional. No, these are the consultant. I don't accept. So these are the things we have to make sure that the women empowerment is also very, very important.
Absolutely.
This thing will change.
Absolutely, yeah. Get more women in and hopefully the business grows as well. And having said that, Tamil Nadu, in fact, is perhaps, I think, the leading state when it comes to women at the workplace.
Tamil Nadu has.
Yes.
Tamil Nadu has women empowerment, lot.
So who knows, a model for everyone to follow. With that note, I'm very happy to throw the floor open for questions. Before we get going, yes, there will be a show of hands. I will moderate the question and answer session. If I could just request you, firstly, to please keep your questions brief. And secondly, please end it with a question mark. So please ask it in the format of a question. I'd greatly appreciate that. I believe we have the gentleman in the back there. Yes.
Mr. Agarwal, it's indeed an honor. To begin with, I was an employee of Sterlite 19 years back. Sir, you shared the challenges you went across, right from, it's a zillion challenges, listing in India, in London, whatever. Every time you come across an issue, do you look at it as a problem to be solved or a battle to be fought?
Problem solving is a battle on most fronts also, right? But problem to be solved or battle to be fought?
Yeah, depend on with whom I'm talking. Again, I said that what problem, if you look at me, somebody who has nothing, today all of you are embarrassing me. I have moved. My health is okay. I'm smiling. I'm good. If you say, it's a state of mind where I was, where I'm today, and I'm happy man. I'm most respected man to England. Anything happened, 10 Downing Street, I've been called. I have all my English staff in my house. My mother, who's 93, she does not speak a word of English, and they don't speak Hindi. And both talk 2 hours together. But I never leave my mother. I feel very, very good. I have no hesitation. So these things I find that battle happen as long as you have not hurt anybody, you have not steal anybody's money, you have not done anything unethical, you have governance. We are going through this process in India where this problem comes. So I never. It is a time come where I've gone through depression, and I used to go depression. I never used to come to the office. I said, be in the car, and I used to drive. Then I got a depression. Then I never come to the office in London. I go to the station and sit in the train and go to Scotland. And from there I come back again. So I could pass 12 hours. 12 hours has gone. 12 hours has gone. So you're going through that depression. So you go through this, but you fight. You fight. You say tomorrow you have to make so much of payment. The bank is a problem. I must open up this today that I used to be daring man. and my bed is shaking. And I says, no, it's not shaking, but it's shaking. And I'm gone to the psychiatrist. He says, no, no, but as I'm telling you, there's two people inside my bed. They're shaking my bed. So, no, those things you come across, you come out of it.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, every day is a battle after all, and I think solving that problem could be seen as victory in the end. Thank you
sir.
very much. The gentleman in the striped shirt, yes.
Mr. Agarwal, you mentioned that you faced setbacks in businesses, but you've created 4-5 new businesses. When you allocate your energy or your bandwidth, when do you decide that it's not worth investing any more energy, problem solving, and moving to something else? When do you decide that distinction that you need to spend more time on a problem or to move on from it?
No, when you have nothing, then you have to make sure that whatever you have, it has to work. You have a one car, साला उसको धक्का मार के, scooter को kick मार के उसी को चलाना है. No, you have no other option. You have to, because so then if you have a one business, you have nothing else to do. So you have after it. But when you have many-fold business, then you keep moving on. Okay. Keep moving on. Let's be sorted out. Let's move. Waste everything, but don't waste time. Because everything has a time, has to be right. So depend, we are not a people who hold on to something unnecessarily.
So the more you diversify, the more you hedge your bets, the quicker you move on.
Not hedge, it's a life. Sometimes you have only one source of income, then how can you
move on?
You have to make it work.
Keep fighting.
But you have many sources of income,
right.
And then it's become my arrogance. How this can be stopped? So at that time you say, okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
But for me, Tamil Nadu is a state which is one of the finest states in India. Anybody in the world want to come and invest, want to go to Tamil Nadu. Anything, the skilled people, the land, anything you talk about, you have in Tamil Nadu, I'm saying from my heart. People don't want John, people want Raghavan. So this is what the Tamil Nadu is. But Tamil Nadu has the biggest debt among all these states. Because where the money come from, where the revenue come from, like Odisha government was the highest debt. We have been working with them and said, look, you have a natural resource. If you can auction this natural resource, Naveen Babu talked to us, we understand. And they used to get 5,000 crore. You will believe how much money they got last year? Just finishing March. 50,000 crore. They cleared their debt. Tamil Nadu has rare earth, which is China's largest deposit. You have a lignite, you have a bauxite, you have a 3-side sea. You have to go in heavy industry. If people are very intelligent and they look at very intelligently, a lot of influence are there. Unless you make 7 million ton steel we used to produce. Now 300 million ton steel. So Tamil Nadu has to have a 20 million ton steel plant. They have to have a largest oil refinery. They have to have a largest, when Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan set up the plant for Madras Aluminium, one was Renukut and one was here. Renukut was in foundation was given by Jawaharlal Nehru and one was given by Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. The people say, no, mining is bad, they don't give us a bauxite, they don't do anything, they didn't allow anything to happen because mindset of large industry, big industry, we have to make it. Then the revenue will come. Around that, thousands of industry will come to use that product.
Hello, Mr. Agarwal. It's great to have you here amongst us. And hi, Jude.
Just introduce yourself.
This is Preeti.
Yeah.
Preeti, yeah. As the theme says, dare to dream, which of course you did, and the empire that you created. And the empire that you created and you employed so many people inside it. How did you manage to put across your dream through your empire? How did you align all the people to the same mission and vision that you had? I mean, that alignment, hiring the best CEOs and everything, but how did you tell them that this is the dream that we have to achieve together? So,
You know, we have 100,000 people and no union. And I don't live in India. And it's not run by the family people. Something must be working. The internal communication, they believe in me. And sometimes the, supreme power also help you. So it work. I'm very close to my people. I communicate with them all the time. I say, look, take care of your children. Make sure your colony is good. The culture is good. I hire the young people. My CEOs are connected. I'm fearless. I'm talk to the people. Like sometimes things are working, but I'm very pleased. And you have a casualty. You have an amazing casualty. Suddenly somebody want to leave. In the evening he was okay. In the morning he goes. So, but we have an asset-based company. Your human touch definitely help. Your human touch definitely help when you are transparent. You're transparent. You talk from your heart, and you share your joy and sorrow. And it help. And then the Vedanta, everybody want Vedanta people. And my heart break if I've talked to such firm and they says, any manufacturing people, the moment somebody walk in say, I'm from Vedanta, he's a preferred. But sometimes I feel that it is a factory. We are not producing copper, we are not producing aluminum, we are producing people. And I feel very good. So this is I fully agree with you. I think it is more not me, it is something you must believe. करने वाला वही है, कराने वाला वही है. You are instrumental. What you have to do is to remain focused. What work has given to you, do it 100%. So this is what we do. Something has to go wrong, will go wrong. But I'm very pleased and that somebody like you appreciating that we have connected with the people and people are with us.
So more humanness and effective communication, a little bit of both at the end of the day.
A little bit of both. We have initially used to be very scared because you have a heavy weight who used to work with you and you don't know how to deal with them. But slowly it worked. And one thing is that I'm very comfortable saying, I didn't understand, can you explain me again? And I don't know this. Can you? A small thing also, sometimes they see, he doesn't know this. So, but I'm okay. I'm okay with this, and the time to come, it has been accepted.
It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to be humble through the process of it all. Yes, ma'am. Would you like to ask a question?
Good evening, Anil sir.
Good evening.
मैं अपना सवाल हिंदी में पूछूंगी सर because आपने एक YouTube वीडियो डाला था जिसमें आपने कहा कि भाषा should never be a hindrance. So firstly, it's absolutely inspiring to listen to you. Sir, आपने कई बार बताया कि आपके 9 failed businesses थे, but ऐसा कौन सा, थोड़ा सा history जानना चाहती हूँ, ऐसा कौन सा वो deal था या वो किसी person के साथ वो मुलाकात थी जिसके वजह से market आपके favor में turn हुआ? That one deal that helped you move forward when 9 wasn't happening for you.
Yeah, but no, the one crack was that my enamel wire business, my cable business, these things were not working. I had a dairy product. So telephone was the most scared because it used to take 8 years to get a telephone connection. And the biggest problem was the telephone cable. Biggest problem was the telephone cable. And telephone cable used to be manufactured by Hindustan Cable, which was government company. So the government liberalized and given 3 licenses. One is to Finolex Cable, one to Cable Corporation, one to other company. So I went to Delhi and I met this Tabilian, the Revenue Secretary, secretary के नीचे जो होता है, somebody. So he was there in the department. So I went to him and he says, no. They've been asked only to clear 3 licenses. So in the evening, no, we are usual. We take a lot of toys for his children, a lot of sweet for his children, anything and everything, find out and say, look, your wife is my sister, I want to take a Rakhi from here. Anything and everything possible. So, people think, I say, look, do one thing. When you are sending this paper upstairs, put my application and staple it. First time I went to US, went abroad with one of the Tamilian person called Narayan Swami. He was a chartered accountant, Bansi Mehta. He was a very smart fellow. So he became a good friend. So we both went with the condition that both will stay in a one room. And then we'll eat falafel for the lunch. And in the night we'll have a dinner to save the money. And we yellow page. The only thing which we used to do, whole day we look at the yellow page and who were the people, prospective people, call them. We want to buy this machine, we want to buy this machine. And foolishly we've been working for 3-4 days only in yellow pages to look at. Finally we found. Somebody said, don't contact him, contact him, contact him. And we went to Chicago, Decatur, one old plant was there. And same making jellyfish cable, they shut down this plant. We reached to the owner, he says, no, I'm not going to sell this plant. And then persuaded him, same thing, we took Indian Handicraft, everything, keep pursuing him. So we got this plant, moved to Aurangabad, and we set up this plant probably in 7-8 crore rupees. And money started pouring in. That was a big breakthrough.
Right. And what a journey from, knowing your way around bureaucrats to eating falafel in the US to cold calling people from the yellow pages. That's something that a lot of people can take away. Yes, so the gentleman in white, can we have a mic over there, please? I think we'll have time to take a couple of more questions and we will wrap. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. My name is Joshua Madan, and my question would be the recent the semiconductor plant that you had planned with Foxconn in Gujarat, if I'm not wrong, a 19 billion project which came to an abrupt halt. Would you like to throw some light about how did you go about learning, a failure like that, I don't know, or you're planning to relook at the semiconductor launch? Maybe you want to throw some light on that.
Yeah, semiconductor is the most important thing, and Foxconn is a downstream which has a factory in Tamil Nadu, and they make the handset and the cell phone. Very big, very nice. Chairman Young is a very good friend, dear friend. They don't also have the semiconductor. They don't have a foundry. Foundry is the most important. So we both joined together, and it's a big name. And with a big name, we could locate. And then all politics goes on. America doesn't want India to produce semiconductor. China doesn't want India to produce semiconductor. Taiwan, no question, they want to produce semiconductor. And but Mr. Modi is Mr. Modi. He wants to make this country forward, and he wants to bring this. So we tie with the Foxconn and say, let's work together and get this going. And we selected the site Gujarat, and beautiful site. And then first Foxconn feel that they would like to remain into the downstream where they are. They don't want to get into the top semiconductor and get into the politics. We being Indian, we have now 3 agreements has signed with the best of people which we are going to announce. And I like when people, like sometime, it has happened a couple of times in my life, people pity on you. Oh, you have this loss. I'm sorry, you are in a stress position. You're not been able to pay. I love this because that gives me strength. That gives me strength. Dara Singh जब तक मार नहीं खाता था तब तक मारता नहीं था. I love this word. Oh, I'm sorry, your share price has collapsed.
I think a difference in objectives between two companies, and it's okay to have different dreams, I guess, but you held firm to your ground, and I think that's what counts.
One thing I can tell you, that we will produce semiconductor in India, we will have ecosystem, and you will have, Tamil Nadu will have a satellite to produce all the downstream product, and that will take our country different level.
Right, that's an amazing dream and an amazing vision. I'll come to you in a bit, sir. Yes, Mr. Pandiraja.
Anilji, this question on the name Vedanta. Which part of your identity is reflected in Vedanta? With such a strong entrepreneurial person, I would have expected a very warrior-like name rather than a sadhu-like name like Vedanta, the crux of Vedas, which seem to teach more of be at peace with yourself kind of a thing. And how did you choose this name Vedanta, and what does it mean to you?
No, this is very interesting. So, I was listing my company, London Stock Exchange, as a FTSE 100 company, big board, and they have selected a very English name. Very English name, and we are almost
What was
there.
the name? What was the name?
Metamix or something like this. It was collected with. That evening, my brother called me from Pune that there is Mr. Parth Sarthi, and he's in Lonavala, he's in London, and can you give him a dinner? And I says, nice, why not? So he came to my place, old man, but very nice, very, and he handed over a book which is just written called Vedanta. So I took this book and he says, please come to our Lonavala, we have a nice ashram. And he says, and then I asked him, Vedanta looks good because I love this name because my mother name is Ved. So I said, I'm putting up this company. I showed him the paper. This is the company, this is the board. I asked him, can I put name Vedanta? And he says, that will be lovely. And that's how it inspired. Right. That evening, the crack of coming Mr. Parth Sarthi, I'm sure you people know him somewhere. So he's coming into my place. So this is what happened.
What a story, and surely a name that you hold close to your heart, no doubt. I believe we have one more question, or?
No, it was
the same question, okay. Yes, ma'am. Can we have the mic over to?
Good evening, Mr. Agarwal. It was really nice listening to you. You did mention in brief about the support your wife had extended. Could you throw a little bit in detail about the moments that you would have had with all the failures and how the family, you spoke about how you made up the face to the people at office, but how is it at home?
One thing for sure that after God, if you say, wife is the one person who stands by. After God, mother, the wife is, the girls are, normally they will not bother. They will not understand you at all. They will not understand you. But in a crisis, the way the women and your wife stand, man has no power. No, he collapsed. But the women has so power. I had a raid in my house for no reason. And I was collapsed. I was checking. ED raid or this raid, I'm talking a long time back. My wife put this sari, what? I would talk nicely. No. This women power, and if you can catch it, you'll be at different level. But don't take it them for granted. Because they are different to handle. They're different to handle. But in crisis, the way they will come and stand by you, nobody can.
All right, we have time for one last question and we will end. Does anyone want to go for the one last question that we have time for? No? Okay, wait. Yes, the lady in green.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How much of Vedanta in a day-to-day life is part of you on a day-to-day aspect?
How much of Vedanta
I'm talking about the
do you
Vedanta
have in
and
your own
spirituality.
life?
I'm not understand very. I understand fundamental that you should be detached. I understand that you should have a courage. If you courage, then only you progress. That Krishna says, and I understand that your humility always save you. Remaining arrogance does not save you. And you, as long as you are like a Hanumanji, folding your hand that I'm your servant and I'm going to take out the mountain and fly. Because then you see that power is not yours, it's somebody else is giving you. As long as you have that, so those things are little bit things. We are like a gaon wala, no? So we understand fundamental. So We don't understand that person who said, what happened to environment, how you didn't enter the ground. But today we have everything. मेरे को तो लगता है कलयुग है ही नहीं ये. It is a satyug. This is the, where else you can find this kind of opportunity, this kind of atmosphere. Earlier, if government is unhappy, people used to leave the village. King, if is unhappy, you have to leave the village. Today you have a court, you have a people. People used to die at 50 in general. 50 means you have gone. Today's time has changed. So
Absolutely. But I think the one takeaway we can take back with us from this conversation is stay humble, stay kind, and have courage. On that note, Mr. Anil Agarwal.
No, you must know today is a friendship day. Today is a friendship day, International Friendship Day. And I'm so blessed that I have so many friends today.
Absolutely.
What can be?
I can say.
What can be better than having this friend? I can tell you nothing better than having a friend. I want to sing a song on the friendship.
Wow.
Where is this? I told her, find a हिंदी में है, but गाते हैं. हम लोग साथ में गाते हैं. वो है ना बड़ी दुनिया में मगर दोस्त मुश्किल से मिलते हैं. दिए जलते हैं, फूल खिलते हैं. दिए जलते हैं, फूल खिलते हैं. बड़ी मुश्किल से मगर दुनिया में दोस्त मिलते हैं, दोस्त मिलते हैं. Today is a friendship day. All the
big
best.
round of
बड़ी
applause,
मुश्किल से
ladies
दोस्त
and
मिलते हैं.
gentlemen.